In this video, we're going to install Docker for Linux. We're using Ubuntu 18.04. For Ubuntu, we don't really have Docker for desktop, kind of like a bundled installation like that. So you don't kind of have to do it manually from the terminal. So we're going to do that. So the first thing we need to do, we're going to just download the Ubuntu, the Docker distribution for Ubuntu from this and then whatever the download comes back, you can just pipe that to shell's bash. So it's going to go ahead and download a few files, then pipe that to shell, and then it's going to install a bunch of different things. So the Docker installation just finished. We need to start the Docker process in using systemctl. So we can do that by sudo systemctl start Docker. So with that, Docker should be running in the system right now. But we also need to add our current user as a Docker user in the system so that this user can access Docker. So we can do that by saying sudo usermod -a g docker mofi. That is the current username. You will use your current username, or you can use the shortcut $user that will replace the current user in that spot. So once that happens, we can then do Docker version. You might see a Docker permission denied on the var.sock. If that happens, you should just do a restart on your system. That should restart with the new users on the reboot, and then you'll be able to access the Docker engine. So now Docker is running. But we're missing a couple of other things like Docker machine and Docker compose. So we're going to go ahead and install those now. To install Docker machine, we start with the machine version. So the current machine version is 0.16.0. So you can create environmental variable. So you can make a curl command to this URL. So this URL we just ran, this just went ahead to the github.com release of the Docker machine and downloaded the stuff and downloaded into a particular folder. So right now we're just giving ourselves the executable access to that by running change chmod and giving us executable on that particular file. And finally, we're going to move that file into our user local bin, where it's going to be an executable that you can access. And I can test the Docker machine was installed. So we can install Docker Compose on our system by running this command. So with that, we just download the Docker Compose binary into our temp folder. We'll make that binary executable right now using chmod. Then we can say compose, and now we can then move that binary into our user local bin. And then we can say docker compose version. So with that, we just installed Docker Compose and Docker Machine, and Docker is also installed. We can also check that. So Docker is installed, Docker Compose is installed, and Docker Machine is also installed. So that concludes the installation on Linux, Ubuntu to be specific. And the next video, we're gonna see how you can install Docker in Windows. So if you are using just the Linux distribution, you can just watch this video and skip the other two. If you want to check out the video for installing in a Mac environment, you can see the previous video.